y'all. Good morning and welcome back to Polymac Particles. I feel like I just signed off a couple of minutes ago and we're right back to it today on a beautiful Thursday morning here in the greater Bay Area. Great to be on board today. Great to see Creative Tony in his great t-shirt. We got a lot to get to today. Creative Tony, as they say on the streets, all killer, no filler. Without any further delay today, Tony, let's just get, I've been told, I'm under strict instruction from the executive producer of the show today. You got to keep this S moving. We got to keep going forward. So Tony, our sponsors, I'm ready to give them love if you are. And I want to start with Carlos De La Fuente, my main man. First of all, I want to say, yo, Los, get well, my friend. Get well. I feel you, bro. I've been fighting the same thing for a few days now. I know Leah Phillips is sick. I saw somebody else from the PMP Army is in urgent care right now. So there's definitely a nasty, something funky is going around, and try to stay healthy, try to stay protected. But I'm fighting it. Los, I hope you feel better very soon. In the meantime, let me sing the praises of Carlos De La Fuente and the service that he provides, or I should say, services plural, because he can offer a lot of different tentacles of help through flex funding. Give him a shout. Have that preliminary conversation with Carlos if you've got financial questions, financial ideas, if you've got a roadmap of what you want to do and how you want to get there. Carlos can definitely help you out. It's 925-250-4894. Email Carlos at myflexnow.com. You've heard us talking about Carlos for a couple of months now. We love this guy. He's a great sponsor and also a great friend. San Francisco native, handles private money loans, a mortgage broker you can trust. Imagine that. What a concept. A mortgage broker you can trust. And of course, when it does come to your finances, if you're talking loans, if you're talking mortgages, he specializes in HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. And he's got this new partner that he's very excited about. So listen, Carlos can help you out of a financial jam if you happen to find yourself in one, or if you just need some extra cash on hand. Maybe you're putting a deck on your house or something like that, and you just don't have the funds to finance the whole thing. Talk to my main man, Los at Flex Funding. He will find a solution for you. And if he assesses your details and your information and he thinks the time is not right for you to pull the trigger on something like this, he will say as much. And I think that, again, is one of the points I want to stress, because hey, Los, what's up? Feel better, brother. Feel better. I'm with you. Believe me, I feel you, Los. I've been fighting the same thing. It's brutal. So again, standalones, no appraisal fees, HELOC loans for simply, or those who simply just need some cash. Talk to Carlos about a way he can help you out, because there are a variety of services, Tony, that our main man Los is offering to the PMP community. So Godspeed, Los. Get well.
Yes, dude. And Paulie, if you can stand by for one moment, I would like to entertain the listeners and viewers with...
Give us the Los. 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 What loan would you like?
All right, there we go. Give us the Los. Hey, make sure you get a chance to contact Los so he can give you the Los. But also in the ticker, you'll see too on the scroll, he's talking about Alt A loans. That's another loan that Los is talking about too. And that's maybe for some people that might be higher risk, but there's still a way. So it's outside the box thinking. If you think that you don't have answers, there are answers out there, and Los can give them to you. Give him a call, 925-250-4894. 925-250-4894, or Carlos at myflexnow.com. He is such a good dude, and he'll build the relationship with you. It's not just about the business transactions, it's about the relationship with Los.
Yeah, and again, speaking of that, Tony, final word on Los, and do get well, my man. And Leah Phillips, same goes to you. You get well. All of us get well. As the community, we all need to heal from this funky virus going on. Tony, consider yourselves one of the lucky ones. If you haven't been infected with this death virus yet, consider yourselves lucky, because this thing is knocking people on their ass. One by one, it's just picking people off. Anyway, so... What?
Yeah, sorry, Mark Graves. Yes, he says, does Carlos give us the Los down? Yes, he gives us the Los down. Nice, Mark Graves. I love it.
Hey, Shai's another Carlos song tribute I just thought of. It was an old ELO song, Electric Light Orchestra, like early 70s, like one of their earlier hits called Showdown. I'm going to say there's gonna be a Los down. That one's for you, Los. Gonna be a Los down. Love you, Carlos. Get well. Drink that tea and just chill. There's nothing you can do. You got to let this thing work it out of your system. Yeah, ELO. Me and you, Los. I got you with ELO. And just to show the community how great of a hang Carlos is, like just when he's like just hanging out. We are going to put something together come football season where we can all get together. We're going to do like a lunch with Los, lunch and learn with Los. So when preseason gets started, and Tony, I'm still thinking Canyon in on that. I got to get back to my home base. So anyway, we'll get to that as we get closer to football. Okay, from Carlos to the dental services of Dr. Matt Young, our newest and dearest sponsor. Welcome aboard, Dr. Young. We freaking love you. We love the support you're giving the show. It means a lot to us. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, Tony, in the biz, they call this a testimonial. Okay. Let me give you a testimonial now. That's real industry jargon right now. So I can give you a testimonial because I have firsthand experience with Dr. Matt Young. I've been a patient of his for over a decade, over a freaking decade. These white teeth, they didn't get white on their own, believe me. And they weren't white before I met Dr. Young. You can trust me on that. He scraped off all the gunk. He whitened my teeth. He cleaned up the whole scene going on in Polymac's mouth. And believe me, there was a scene going on. And I know he can do the same for you in a very friendly and affordable way. So reach out to Dr. Matt Young in San Francisco. He's on Post Street, right off Union Square, beautiful part of the city. Shoot him an email. Any questions, set up an appointment, or just get to know the guy, info@youngdentalsf.com. You can also call Dr. Young, 415-392-8611. He's actually very similar to Carlos in that he's a city guy. He loves the city. He cares about the city. He's got a kid who's going to be playing baseball at SI next year. I know Tony likes that. And Scarlet Fire likes that too. But he also offers comprehensive dental care, everything from fillings to implants to cleanings, orthodontics, emergency care, veneers. I got to also shout out and sing the praises of his team. The entire staff at Young Dental will treat you like family. And again, coming from a very uptight, just watery sack of neuroses that I am, you walk into Young Dental, he just cools you right out. He's like, Polymac, chill, dude. You're among friends. And it really is like that. He loves talking Giants. He loves talking Niners. What do you want to listen to, Pink Floyd while you're getting your teeth worked on? Boom, it's done. Here come the headphones. You don't even know what's going on. It's like, what, G? What?
I feel like the theme song for Dr. Young could be Comfortably Numb, right? Because he's probably going to numb you, right? And then he's going to get to work, right?
Yeah, he's got like the water cleaner thing, that little thing that shoots all the water out. He's looking over you and he goes, hello, hello, hello. Exactly. Is there anybody in there? Yeah, he'll sing to you if you ask, only by request. Hey, he's open every day of the week, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then he opens his doors on Saturdays for the busy parents like Creative Tony out there contending with Little League, contending with careers. You're like, how in God's name am I going to carve out time to get to the dentist? Don't even worry about it. He'll open his doors on Saturday for you too, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. And I just can't say enough good things about him as a human being. He is a great guy. You will get to know him and you'll agree. So do give him a call. If you're looking to make a switch or you just haven't been to the dentist in a while, Dr. Matt Young is your one stop for all your dental needs, Big T.
Yeah, finally, it's just about the trust. Why we have Los, we trust Los. Why we have Dr. Young. Seriously, making the decision to let somebody into your mouth is a very important,
very, very intimate. Yeah.
Well, it's like you need to have somebody that you are comfortable with and that you trust. You're not going to go into some random person. That's why go introduce yourself to Dr. Young. Tell him that we sent you. Yep. Tell him that you're part of the PMP army or that you're a PMP VIP. And that will break down the wall immediately. Actually, there is no wall to break down. So you just walk in and seriously, we trust him. And it's somebody that you want to trust and somebody that you want to feel good doing work inside your mouth. So it's really, by the way, I just noticed the icon I didn't do this on purpose, but it's almost like it's a mouth, right?
I thought you did that on purpose. Like it is a mouth, like the black. Yeah. Like those are the gums and stuff. Yeah. That's what I thought you were doing.
But anyways, man, Dr. Young, we trust him, we like him, and you should too. And it's Tony,
quick art direction question as we sort through this on the air. Yes. Is there any way, I don't know if this is even possible, but is there any way, like if you look at the screen, you see you've got what I call like the golden lips. I'll say that's like my gold lip gloss. Shout out 49er football. And then where you've got the black border, is there any way you could flip the black to white and turn those into teeth? I'm just throwing it out there.
I might be able to add some teeth. That
would be outrageous. That would be killer. Anyway, Dr. Matt Young, we freaking love you. Thank you so much for supporting the show. It means a lot to us, and we will be in touch, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Dr. Matt Young. Okay, Tony, in front of us today, we will be joined at 11:30 today by executive engineer of all San Francisco Giant radio broadcast. He's a good friend of Tony and mine, going back as far as I go back with Tony. We all kind of came into the biz at the same time, and right around 97 when we were working at the Ticket 1050. His name is Darren Chand. He goes by DC on the streets. Great guy. And again, if you've ever wondered, and I maintain this, Tony, and I'm not saying this with any embellishment, San Francisco Giant radio broadcast has what I like to think is the best sounding crack at the bat in the biz. I don't know how Darren Chan mics it up. I really don't know how he does that, but it actually does sound like you're down on the field when you listen to a Giant broadcast. Then you got the team in the booth. They're the best. And Darren works intimately with these guys day in, day out, travels with the team. He's at every game. So, and he's just a great guy. He's a great friend of ours. So we'll talk to Darren Chan at 11:30. Creative Tony, speaking of your San Francisco Giants, the drums are beating, buddy. After the show, and by the way, shout out to the late night crowd who made the night flight, and you're right back with us today. Great to see everybody. John Joseph, Lily, Papusa Fiend, Don Peralta, Rags, The Nutter, Marcel, on and on it goes. Thank you guys for tuning in today and last night. Awesome.
And Paulie, on that note, I want to thank all of those who maybe will be listening after the fact on Spotify or TuneIn or Apple Podcasts. And also those who just listen to those are the audio versions. And then also the people that check out our show after the fact that don't check it out live. That's the beauty of doing it on YouTube, is that you can go back and listen to it in chunks. You can listen to it in full duration whenever it suits you. That's the beauty of the show on YouTube. So at Polymax Particles, as you see, like and subscribe on YouTube. Please smash that like button and also subscribe while you're there. Pass the word, pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Totally. Spread the word. And also the PMP VIP, we're trying to make that grow as well. And that is on your screen next to the subscribe bell. So we just, we're building this. I hate to sound like a broken record, but we really are building this from the ground floor. And this first year, we're coming up on episode 100, will be on Monday. And, we're going to, hopefully we get to episode 1,000, 5,000, just keep rolling, right?
Tony, today's episode number 98, because we celebrated Bryant Young last night, one of my all-time favorite 49ers, one of my all-time favorite human beings. By the way, looking forward to October when I might be in a jam session with Bryant Young. We'll see how it goes. When we were talking bass, dude. He plays bass. I was like, dude, bring your freaking bass. We got an event up at the Whetstone Winery during the season, T. It's going to be the, I think it's a Thursday night game, Niners-Rams, and we'll have a group watch party up there. I went to one last year with Patrick Willis. It was freaking awesome. By the way, when I was having dinner, I can imagine that, I was having dinner with Patrick Willis and a bunch of other cool people at Whetstone last year. You know what he admitted to me? I don't think I even told you this, Tony. I told Rags this because he got all excited. Patrick Willis was talking to me, and we're having dinner, and I go, hey, man, you're one of the greatest Niners, blah, 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 blah. We're talking about it. And he goes, I got to tell you the truth. He goes, the truth of the matter is, when I was a kid, he goes, I always hoped the Dallas Cowboys would draft me. Boom. He dropped that on me. And I was like, wow, man, well, I'm glad that didn't happen, because you're one of my favorite 49ers of all time. And Patrick Willis is going to march his ass right into the Hall of Fame as soon as he becomes eligible. You'll see. I can't wait to honor him as a Hall of Fame member. But in the meantime, Tony, your San Francisco Giants. So we end the show last night.
Oh, hold on a second. You said it's episode 98. You didn't mention Julian Peterson. Probably
it's just too much. Day game after a night game, bro. The head is a little fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. It's our Julian Peterson episode. And tomorrow, high noon, as we gear up for that, I'm going to celebrate Mike Walter like you can't even freaking imagine.
Well, also you can enjoy Mike Walter all damn day, as long as you parlay that with Aldon Smith. Okay.
Oh, dude, no problem. I love Aldon Smith, man. I'm an Aldon Smith head. I love that dude. In fact, Aldon Smith, you remember last year, Tony, he was at the Golden Heart Fund event with Dwight Clark. You remember that?
Yeah, God, yeah, I totally do. He was great. We had a great conversation with him. He was awesome.
He really is. Aldon is a great guy. Cheers, Aldon Smith. Hope you're out there doing well, man. We're all fans of yours. But yes, today is our Julian Peterson show. Shout out Julian Peterson. Creator Tony, after the show last night, I'm hanging out. Always takes me a long time to kind of calm down after those night shows. It's just like, because my internal engine is revving high. So it takes me a while to kind of calm down, catch my breath. So I'm killing some time on Twitter. I'm flipping around and I see Sons of Johnny Lee. He's the first guy, but not the last. Sons of Johnny Lee posted a message. He goes, time to bring up Bryce Eldridge. Bring his ass up, because we're talking about the lack of offense. Where the run's coming from, they're really not giving the starting pitching any kind of support, not in the last few days anyway. Tony pointed out before the show that your San Francisco Giants are 3-6 in their last 9 games, kind of a disturbing trend. So, Tony, just to start big picture, I'm getting impatient. I'm getting kind of sick of what I've been watching game in, game out with the lack of hitting, lack of run production. You talked about stranding 2 guys in the 8th inning last night with no outs in the 8th, and they couldn't bring anybody in. Stuff like that is driving us all crazy. Are you on board with this bring Bryce Eldridge up, or is that just too premature? Break it down.
I love where Sons of Johnny Lemaster's head is at and his passion behind the project of Bryce Eldridge.
Go ahead, T.
But he's in AA ball right now. I don't think he's ready. He's batting .294, 30 games in. He's got 6 bombs. So let him progress. I was just reading a little article from Baseball America that says he still needs time in the minors to kind of work on the holes in his swing, which we saw in spring training because he struck out a bunch in spring training. So I don't think he's ready. And also listening, Buster Posey was on with Murph this morning and Murph and Marcus this morning, and he was talking about, hey, everybody, be patient. Basically saying that, Willie is a badass. Willie, I think his quote was, Willie is a dude. But like he was talking about, like when superstar players sign a big deal in the first year of their big deal, they struggle out of the gate. He used Trey Turner as an example. I think he used Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor. He used all them as examples. I'm like, it's okay. All right. Like we used to joke around about in Farhan we trust back in the day. Now it's truly like it was like hard to convince yourselves to trust Farhan, right?
Well, you didn't embrace it from day one. I was a little standoffish with the whole thing, but you were like, "No, man, I'm all in." But you were at the forefront of the in Farhan we trust movement. Yeah.
Well, I thought there would be more of a balance between data analytics and the eye test, but it turns out there was all analytics.
Yeah, and then we found out he's like an undercover agent for the Dodger organization. It turns out he's like getting intel from the Giants because I don't trust him. I don't trust Farhan now after that whole thing. I don't trust him.
Totally. It's like what's his name in Naked Gun? Must kill coach. Was that Reggie Jackson? But anyways, so my point is that you got to trust in Buster, and nobody should be able to talk themselves into trusting Buster. We had to talk ourselves into trusting Farhan. You don't have to talk yourself into trusting Buster. No. So Buster says Willie's a dude and be patient. But I'll tell you what, man, Buster is coming on the radio. He doesn't do interviews a lot. He's coming on the radio and he's addressing this because he knows that what is it? What song is it? Because he knows the time is short, right? Let him who have understanding reckon the number of the beast.
Well, you're talking Maiden right now. Yeah, a little number of the beast on a Thursday. Sure.
Exactly. Well, Buster knows the time is short because he knows the time's running out. That Willie better turn it around soon. I mean, granted, it's still May. It's still May, and as they say, as Marty Lurie says, it's the mosaic, it's the 162, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. But it'd be one thing if Adames was batting like 240 or something, and we're expecting maybe 270. Dude, he's batting 208 as of today.
Cut the
Chapman batting 224. He needs to pick it up too, dude. Like it's not just Adames. Yes, Adames is at the bottom of the barrel, but Chapman needs to pick it up too. And then if you're not, hopefully I just want his glove to make up for the offensive deficiencies when they're happening. So he can't make errors at third base that start rallies like yesterday for Roop. There it is. It's just the bat's got to come alive, and they're in Miami tomorrow. Harrison on the bump. Miami's 22-32 in the cellar. So this is a good chance for them to end this road trip 500. No, not 5. The road trip isn't 5. It's a 9-game road trip. They would end the road trip with hopefully 2 or 3 game, a 3-game sweep in Miami, or at least win the series 2 out of 3, and then come home. And maybe they're feeling better about themselves.
Lots of reactions because you just unloaded a whole dump truck of stuff, and I got reactions to a bunch of it. First of all, John Joseph, totally agree. Deano, what was his name? Paul Deano, best Iron Maiden singer. I'm with you on that. I have a hard time taking Bruce Dickinson seriously with the fencing, and he's piloting planes and shit like that. I don't know.
Oh, come on, really? I love Dickinson. Yeah, I like Dickinson's shenanigans. His hijinks.
Yeah, it is shenanigans, dude. But he takes himself so seriously. Seriously, he thinks he's like Bill Shakespeare out there defending. Well, it's like the flight of Icarus. We're flying about, too close to the sun, flying about. It's like, dude, calm down. Anyway, I'm with you on Deano. And number two, Tony, a couple of reactions to what you were saying there, because you mentioned time several times. You're like, and I don't know if we're going to have enough time. Can I get a Will Ferrell for my head on a Thursday?
I don't know if we'll have enough time. I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Thank you for the double shot. I needed to. But as you're saying time, it makes me start to think, hold on, maybe I should pause myself, because Tony gave me a very strict script to follow for today. And so far, so good. But now I'm about to break right off the script and go on a different route. So I had an idea for the musical assignment tomorrow, just real quick. And I want to share it with you. But now I have a secondary idea based on everything you said. You were talking about time. Eldridge needs time. Give him time. So I immediately start thinking Culture Club, time won't give me time. Now I'm thinking Cyndi Lauper, time after time. But so we could do songs tomorrow that involve time or clocks or something like that. Now, the flip side.
That's more of a positive road than the proposed musical ass that we talked about before the show.
All right, let me gently roll out the other musical ass, as you guys like to call it, the musical ass. Here it comes. Musical assignment. That's abbreviated, kids. I was going to say we could. What's so funny, man? What?
That's abbreviated, kids. And also, when Noemi writes it down, I've seen her write it down or type it. Excuse me. She puts the S's and asses dollar signs.
No, I know. I love that, Noemi. Great to see you today, too. Folsom Stevie B. Scarlet Fire.
It says musical ass right there with the dollar sign.
With the dollar signs, no question. Just like Gene Simmons makes a dollar sign with his S. Yeah. Anyway, Scarlet Fire, comes a time for life. Comes a time when the blind man takes your hand and says, don't you see? I'm with you. So we could do songs about time like that. Comes a time, stuff like that. Rags, Rush, Time Stand Still, exactly. Or Time Stand Still. I was going to say we could do songs that have the word nothing in the title or nothing in the lyrics, because the Giants are providing their pitching with nothing. No run support, no hitting, stranding fools on base. So those are the two options. How do you guys feel? Tony, how do you feel? I'll go either way very happily. It could be songs about time or it could be songs about nothing. Tony, your reactions.
I'm all about the time suggestion because, like I said, it's more of a positive. Instead of dwelling on the nothingness that is the Giants' offensive offense.
Yeah.
Let's go with in a more positive direction of time, because we can, very wisely, Boy George says time won't give me time. So maybe we're trying to say that time is a factor. The Wolf said time is a factor.
If I'm curt with you, it's because time's a factor. So pretty pleased with sugar on top. Clean the fucking car. Go ahead, Tony.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then Will Ferrell says, I don't know if we'll have enough time. So
right.
I think time is more of a common denominator, a common thread with us and the PMP Army. So you know what? I'm gonna get forceful. I'm making the executive call right now. We're doing the time. That's time.
All I needed to. Again, when Tony bullies me, I'm at my best. I need Tony to bully me for me to perform at my very best. Hey, Tony, thank you. Time it is.
You're welcome. I'm gonna bully you again because I'm taking control of the show right now before DC Darren Chan comes on the show. I don't think we need to talk much Knicks because it's like win or go home. And but the reason I wanted to get, because this is Knicks and birthdays, there's some fun birthdays today.
Sure.
That I'd love to get to before we get to Darren Chan, and then we'll do bookmarks after Darren Chan. Paulie, today is Carmelo Anthony's birthday. So maybe there's some Knick vibe right there.
I'll take it.
For the Knicks to keep the series alive, right? Because the game 5 is at the Garden tonight. So they can extend this series and then make it interesting for a game 6 back in Indiana. That would be very interesting, man. And the Garden's going to be lit, as the kids say. So I'm all about Knicks ball tonight. I've got a Little League playoff baseball game, or else I'd be watching. But go Knicks. And also some other fun but Carmelo's birthday. So there's that Nick
birthday, Melo. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony seems like a pretty cool guy. I think Carmelo Anthony now has his own strain of cannabis. I think he's got his own Mellow brand of buds out there. Yeah,
dude, when are we gonna do that, man?
Pretty soon. We should. I have a guy. You know what I'm saying? I have a guy who's got great buds, as Don Peralta can attest to. Tony's top 3 could be the brand, could be the strain, or how about just Paulie's particle strain? You know what I mean?
Tony's top THC. That's just a great Don Peralta. Great job there. I want that on a T-shirt. But Paulie, my point being is that the Knicks, they need to extend the series, and there's a good vibe with birthday with Carmelo Anthony's birthday, but also, heavenly birthday to Bob Hope today. Heavenly birthday to JFK, dude. 72nd birthday to Danny Elfman. You know who Danny Elfman is, do
Danny
you?
Elfman was I know he's a very accomplished producer. And now, dude, was he a member of Chung at one point? Was he a member of Wang Chung?
No, he's a member of Oingo Boingo.
Okay, same kind of ballpark. Yeah, it wasn't that far off.
It's
Yeah,
the
Oingo
Dead
Boingo.
Man's Party.
Yeah.
Who could ask for more? Dude, that's Tolbert. That's one of Tolbert's jams, by the way. That surprised me because I've been to I've seen shows with Tom, and he's Tolbert, he's Sabbath, he's Metallica, and then all of a sudden you throw in a Boingo, and it's like, okay.
No, you throw a Boingo. I've seen Tolbert at a couple of Rolling Stones shows too over the past few years. And I know Tolbert also is a card carrying member of the Kiss Army. He'll stand up fist in the air when Kiss comes to town. So I'm on board with that too. What?
No, that I just looked at Sweet Mad Hatter. What's up, dude? Sweet Mad Hatter with the Lego. Oh, Mad Hatter sent some great photos, Paulie. I think I sent those to you.
I saw them. They're a killer. Yeah.
You know what? Hey, Mad Hatter, we'll share those tomorrow on the show because there's a common thread with the Eugene Emeralds that Mad Hatter lives in Oregon. He goes and checks those games out. Hey, Mad Hatter, I need you to email me pauliespod@gmail.com. Let us know how this Bo Davidson kid is looking. He's in the Giant system, and I was reading up on this kid, Bo Davidson. Supposedly, there's a scout, this guy, Michael Falk, like Marshall Falk. Michael Falk. He says, and this is, you don't throw it, and he says in the article many times, I don't throw these words around. I've been a scout for 30 years. I know what I'm talking about. He reminds me so much of Barry Bonds. He's a big lefty that supposedly is coming up in the Giant system. He plays for the Eugene Emeralds. That keep an eye on Bo Davidson. So Mad Hatter, keep an eye on Bo Davidson for us in Eugene. Too bad, Eugene.
Couple things real quick on that. Again, more reactions coming your way. And first off, I got to say, when you're talking about, first of all, the guy sounds like he can hit just with the name Bo Davidson. Like, that guy can hit. Of course, he's got pop. And greatest, I'll give you, you can't come up with a guy named Bo who isn't the very best in his field. Exhibit A, Bo Jackson. Exhibit B, Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. You got Bo and Luke Duke. Bo is right there holding it down.
Exhibit C, Bo Derek.
Exhibit D, Bo Diddley. Okay. Hey, Bo Diddley. By the way, everybody should go out of their way. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Just a quick Grateful Dead side note. I got a lot of them, so let me share this one. I think it is like August of '72. It was an official Dick's Picks release. It's outstanding. All you deadheads out there, go find the show, and it's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's right there. Just go grab it. It's Bo Diddley sitting in with the Grateful Dead in New York City from 1972. They do like a 30-minute session together. It's really good. Check that one out. 72 also, Academy of Music in New York. Yes, Tony.
Exhibit E, and dude, Pine Needle, you're on it with me. Bo Jangles, okay? Bo Jangles, Mr. Bo Jangles. Now, Paulie.
Okay, Exhibit F. Hold on, Exhibit F. I got another one. Exhibit F coming your way. Our high school principal, rest in peace, Rags' football coach. His name was Mr. Wilkins, but that got abbreviated because everybody gets nicknames in Jersey, even the principal and the football coach. So Mr. Wilkins became Wilbo, and then that became abbreviated to just the Bo. He was just known as the Bo. Here comes the Bo. The Bo sauce.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Bobo the Clown. Bobo the Clown. Nice call.
Bo Derek? How about Bo Derek? Throw her out there.
That's what I said like three exhibits ago. I said,
I'm sorry. I'm so deep. I'm buried in Bo's. I didn't even hear that. I'm sorry.
And Sweet Mad Hatter, I had the Bo Derek poster as well, buddy. So we're with you in unison on that. Also, Paulie, 67th birthday to Annette Bening. Great actress, Annette Bening.
I like Annette Bening. She's cool. Yeah.
Amazing in American Beauty. Go back and watch that movie, by the way. Although Spacey's kind of a creep now. And then a happy 62nd birthday to Lisa Welchel. I bet you Darren Chan, when he comes on the show, knows who Lisa Welchel is. Do you know who Lisa Welchel is? 62nd birthday, sitcom. She was a sitcom bombshell, as he used to call attractive people or women.
I don't. Who? Reveal. Give me the great reveal.
Dude, look at Folsom Steve. Folsom Steve's on it, dude. Look at Folsom Steve. Can you see his comment? Folsom Steve?
Blair from the Facts of Life?
Yes, dude. Wow. Yes. Blair from the Facts of Life, man. What? Yeah, any boy my age had a massive crush on Blair growing up as a kid.
Hold on one second. See, now you're out. Now you're over the line. Hold on. What do you got a problem? What do you got a problem with Joe? What do you got a problem? You got a problem with Joe?
No, but Joe was more the mechanic. Remember, she was a mechanic, and she was like,
hey, hey, they're checking all the boxes, man. You know what I mean? They're
hey,
checking all the
Noemi,
yeah, go ahead.
well, dude, Noemi, yes, Blair was a snob. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And Joe ruled. Joe ruled for if you want to talk about character and personality, yes, Joe ruled. But
dude, Folsom Steve, I was all about Joe, dude. Joe, okay, Joe. What was her name in real life? Nancy McKeon. Am I right about that? That sounds right. Nancy McKeon.
Yes. Good call. See, you know Nancy McKeon, but you don't know Lisa Welchel, dude. Come on, man.
I didn't remember. I was a Joe guy. I was fixated on Joe. You going with the hype, the glamour, the glitz. I keep it real. I stay in the street. Me and Joe. Right. Yeah.
Clean it up, man. Clean it up. And later on, we're going to celebrate Melissa Etheridge's birthday and Ted Levine's birthday later on in the show, because I've got visual aids for those birthdays.
Okay.
But waiting in the waiting room and enjoying, he's on the road. He's in South Beach. I think he just sunned himself on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean for a few hours in South Beach, Miami. Let's bring Darren Chan to the show. DC, there he is.
My man. DC. All right, everybody. Welcome to Polymac Particles. This is our great friend, Darren Chan. We've known this kid for several decades at this point, which is crazy, but true. We all kind of broke into the biz together around the same time in the late 90s, and Darren has gone on to great things in the booth with Kruk and Kipe and John Miller and Flem. He's there every day. The executive engineer of all San Francisco Giant radio broadcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Miami, there he is, Darren Chan. DC, great to see you, my friend. How you been, man?
Hi, Tony. Great to see you. And I cannot believe you don't know who Lisa Welchel was.
Again, I mean, I can only do so much. I'm trying to give you Exhibit B. I come up with Nancy McKeon. Now I'm getting crucified. But Darren, I'm going to stand with Joe. You guys can have all the glamour and glitz you want. You want to frolic with Blair. I'm keeping it real. I'm staying in the street, and I'm rolling with Joe. Anyway,
Blair Warner was one of the great 80s blondes with fantastic hair. And yes, Tony was right. Anybody of our age group growing up watching Happy Days and The Facts of Life and Mork and Mindy knew that Blair Warner was the one everyone had a crush on. You can have Joe. She'd be great if you want to change a spare tire. But no, you want Blair. And yeah, she was a little spoiled. But same thing with like the Veronica and Archie comics. Archie always wanted Veronica when Betty was the real winner.
Okay. Hey, man, I'll accept that, DC. You're just getting a little piece of the mind of Darren Chan right there. I love it. Go ahead.
Hey, DC, one of our commenters on the chat line, NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC, said, dude, he says leather Tuscadero, baby, because you mentioned the Happy Days, dude.
Is that Pinky Tuscadero?
See, that's the thing. No, see, Darren, you're tapping into something very important now. There's two Tuscaderos. There's Leather, who's kind of like a Joe figure. She's kind of bringing that whole Joe vibe to the scene. And then you got Pinky, who again is more aligned with like a Blair. She's very glamorous, the pink scarf and all that. In fact, Fonzie stuck his neck out for Pinky, dude. He almost got iced in that Demolition Derby. Shout out to the Malachi Crunch, Darren Chan, the Malachi Crunch.
Henry Winkler is one of the most awesome celebrities who took that role, made it for what it was, and does not shy away from answering questions about being the Fonz. And to this day, he will accept it, which a lot of other actors and actresses will not want to typecast themselves in a certain role. But the story's incredible about Happy Days, and I love watching the history stuff behind it. And boy, we're really going back pretty far with dating with this stuff. But I could go on for days. I know you guys don't want to talk Happy Days all day.
Well, you see, that's where you're wrong. I'll talk Ralph Malph. I'll talk Patsy Weber. I'll go all day, but I'll try not to. I'll even go Chachi Arcola if that's how you want to do it, dude. Chachi Arcola. And I'm going to say right now, Darren Chan, last note on Happy Days from me, and I want to kick this around the horn. Favorite episode of all time. I don't remember the circumstance, but they threw this one at us when we were little kids. All of a sudden, Tony, one episode I tune in, Fonzie's blind. Okay. Suddenly Fonzie lost his vision. Now he can't see, he's blind. And Richie decides, you know what? I'm not going to hold this guy's hand anymore. I'm going to make it tough on this guy. Dude, Richie Cunningham disassembles Fonzie's motorcycle, goes up to his apartment, and dumps all the pieces on the floor. DC, do you remember that? And he goes, okay, tough guy, go ahead, rebuild it. And Fonzie did. He did.
Yeah. And part of the thing that Fonzie did was great was that he really kind of toughened up Richie from a lot of standpoints. One of my favorite episodes was when there was a rival gang that came in. I think they were like the Thunder
Or the
Coats or
demons,
something like that.
the demons, something like that.
The demons, and they had a showdown at Al's place, and
Of course.
and then and Fonzie pretty much chickened out of the fight on purpose to have Richie stand up for himself and taught him a good, valuable life lesson. We need more of that going on.
Well, and then I'll just submit this last thing. And then, Tony, I want your favorite Happy Days episode, too. But just, guys, consider this, too, and I'll take your responses because I'm still looking for answers on this. How about the fact that on Happy Days, they pulled one of the greatest switcheroos of all time? First couple of seasons, Richie had an older brother named Chuck, okay? And then all of a sudden, you come back for like season 2, season 3, there's no more Chuck. He's gone. He's never even mentioned again. But Chuck, dude, do you guys remember Chuck Cunningham? He had some camera time early on.
Oh
God, that was the original. There was an original older brother, and I don't forget in storyline what happened. But
he just vanished. He just vanished in a puff of smoke. He was gone.
Just didn't do that at all. Which reminds me of kind of along the same lines that Michael J. Fox was not the original. Was not the original cast of Back to the Future. If you guys know that, I think it was. Oh boy, I wish I had prepared for that.
Was it Jason Bateman? No,
it wasn't Jason Bateman. It was. Boy, this is going to drive me crazy. I should have had this.
By the way, I just noticed the tinted windows on DC. You're
looking good. Well, you're looking very Miami, dude. You're
you know what? I could show you what's outside my window right now. I attempted to do this outside on my balcony here, but if I figure if I was going to be here and talk, half the pool would be able to hear me talking right now.
I got
you guys, which actually be kind of funny.
Dropping Fonzie takes, dropping hot takes on the Fonz. Hey, DC,
real quick. I want to let DC know one of our sponsors, Carlos De La Fuente, who's a great dude. He's become a dear friend of ours, dude. He is friends with Don Most, Ralph Malph. He's become friends with them over the years, and he met him out of premiere. He says he's a great dude. So we actually have particles inside the Happy Days family because of Los D and becoming friends with Don Most.
Donnie Most, dude. Fist in the air for Donnie Most, one of the greatest redheads of all time.
Yes.
DC, I want to ask you, when as you do travel with the club and you've been doing this many years now, where does Miami Beach rank in terms of like destination cities? Like, is it at the top for you? Are you a Miami guy? I loved it when I went down there.
Well, I love coming here because it does give you that. It is the most tropical feeling. It's a tropical smell when you're here, obviously.
Yeah.
We used to stay down a little further down south on the at the resorts. We have since moved back into downtown, which I kind of prefer because there's a lot more choice of restaurants and culture around this area. Whereas, and don't get me wrong, it's great having beaches and warm water, but that way I can't walk to a grocery store there without losing 5 pounds of sweat. So here it's great because everything's within walking distance. It's public transportation. I took a monorail today to go run some errands, which is kind of random here. I saw the new, I guess where the Miami Heat play. I saw that from the outside, and it's a great area. It's a great stop. The weather is fantastic right now. One time we were here, this is maybe pre-pandemic. We were here during a tropical storm. We couldn't set foot outside this hotel, and and this was the storm where it rained so much the streets were flooded, and one of the team buses that went to Lone Depot Park stopped about a block and a half away because the roads were flooded, and the bus opened just to get out, and Gabe Kapler got out and decided just to walk into knee-deep water into the ballpark.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to walk. I got it from here, guys. Let me meet you. Actually, hold on, DC. It's more like this. Let me give you the proper Gabe Kapler voice. Let me be like this. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk. Just let me out of here. I'm gonna walk. Me and Kai need to go over the lineup.
Anyway, that's my Gabe Kapler effect. I know. Yeah, no, I'm just going to walk right through this. Let me take my shirt off, too, at the same time. I got to tell you, I'm much more comfortable with Bob Melvin at the helm than I was with Gabe Kapler, for full disclosure. But, Tony, I know you had something. Go ahead, bro. I don't want to
I wanted to see, DC, are you near the Clevelander? Because Sean Estes yesterday in the postgame suggested that the whole team go to the Clevelander and just tie one on to kind of drink away their sorrows of what's happening on this road trip offensively, and hopefully that will create kind of a a new age slump buster, basically.
I tell you what, I think I'd be too old for that right now. Maybe 20 years, 25 years ago when I first started this, I'd be all
Right.
in on that. But for
Are you guys,
myself, I mean, for players, that's great. I could totally see them doing that and getting the hookups
right.
down here. With an off
Mhm.
day, oh, it's time to forget about baseball and just get it off your mind and come back tomorrow, regroup and go at it. But yeah, I won't do the Clevelander. I remember when the Clevelander had a club inside of the Marlins ballpark. That has since been changed.
Oh
There
wow.
were some crazy activities behind that left field wall. You would have the fence, and then you from our broadcast position, you could see in there. They had strobe lights, disco lights, and they had
See,
girls dancing on poles.
well, listen. Well, that leads me to my next question. So, I mean, Miami as a baseball town has always been kind of a tough pairing for me in my head. Like, because the NFL obviously works in Miami. The Dolphins, they have a love affair with that team, and that's like their biggest point of kind of pride, I think, would be the Dolphins. Then you got the Miami Heat. That fits in really well with the whole Miami vibe. But, dude, Darren, Miami as a baseball town, like, what is it like? Do they have the support down there? Are Marlin fans, is it a thing, or is it as casual as it kind of appears to be when I watch a broadcast? Because it's always so quiet in that yard.
Yeah, I've always felt that Miami is not a great sports town. It's
Yeah.
definitely a city that likes to jump on winners. But if you're going through a rebuilding process or if you're struggling with sub 500 team, I think for all sports, they're not doing well. And I think that, during the heyday when Shaq was here for Miami with Bosch and that run there, they were the hottest ticket in town. I
Yeah.
remember going to Joe Robbie Stadium and watching the Marlins play there. uh, Minuscule crowds coming out, partly because it's the middle of summer and it's hot and no one wants to sit out there. They did the right thing over here. They have a retractable roof. They have glass panels in the outfield where you can get a jet stream on a beautiful day like this and not have to use the air conditioning. And you look over downtown Miami. So they've done a great job. But yeah, the attendance is not great. It hasn't been for years. They're lucky to get attendance into the teens. And the thing is, the ballpark is I actually kind of like it a lot.
Okay.
I know it gets a
Right.
kind of a bad rap. They moved that crazy home run structure from center field. They moved that to the outside of the ballpark now, so you can still see that, but it's outside of the ballpark. And I really like the way the ballpark sits, the viewing angles. Um,
Nice.
my problem as a sound engineer is that they have the PA system cranked for 40,000 people when in fact there's less than 50% of
Oh,
that in
yeah.
attendance.
brutal. Brutal. Hey, Paulie, so I know, just want to explain to people that when you hear the crack of the bat and the pop of the glove on the broadcast, that is all DC. So, DC, when you go to visiting towns, are they pretty liberal about letting you set up wherever you want, like set up those mics wherever you want? Or do they tell you, no, we got it covered and you're going to patch into something that we already have?
Yeah, it's definitely the latter. They have what they call a bat crack feed that sends to us. Now every
Uh,
ballpark is different. Some will have
mm,
really good bat cracks, pop of the glove, crack of the bat,
right. Right.
umpires. Sometimes the mics are so good you can hear guys like Robbie Ray grunting off the mound.
Yeah.
And those are the great mics. The problem we have now is that they've put a lot of these so-called bat crack mics next to speaker boxes on the
Mhm.
field. I mean, directly next to them. And you're probably wondering what are these speaker boxes? Well, in a lot of these major league parks now,
Mhm.
players like to hear their walk-up music more than what's already being fed on the stadium PA. So
Dude,
there's a dedicated speaker for
Interesting.
teams on the that we play at certain
Hey,
ballparks
hey,
where they hear
Darren,
the music louder.
dude, that is hilarious because, like, for musicians, if you're playing on stage, those are called monitors. You have like these little speakers at your feet that plays the sound right back to you, so you can hear what you're singing or playing. Dude, so Tony, these fools are out here with their own monitors. Essentially, that's basically what we're talking about here, which is kind of like high maintenance. It sounds like, but I know, dude, the walk-up thing has become its own kind of point of interest and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, DC, what do you feel like the overall kind of temperament of the club is right now? Like, what's the vibe? Are these guys dragging? Are they affected by what's going on, or are the spirits still high? Like, what's the vibe right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're affected by it, but they're not going to show it. There's that old adage of you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low.
Yeah.
And this team has done 6 games over 500, even with the getting swept in Detroit. I don't. Yeah, there's the adage in the thought process by fans to think that these guys don't care or they're just lazy or whatever is completely false. I mean, these are professional athletes that want to excel at the highest level, and you don't think for a second that players and their coaches are not trying their hardest in changing things up just to make things happen. It's tougher than it sounds. The vibe I get is that people are concerned, obviously, rightfully so, with this slump right now, because for the past 2 to 3 weeks, the bats have been quiet. This road trip, bats have not been lighting up at all. So it's been a continuation of that, but you can't get too down. Otherwise, you just start getting sucked into something where, say you're a starting pitcher, now you're overcompensating. You're trying too hard. Yeah, if you're a pitcher that's given up 3 runs, that should be enough for a win. But if your teammates are slumping at the plate, sometimes you might have a tendency to get in your mind where you have to try harder so that you're only allowing 1 or 2 runs, and that could create havoc.
Yeah. Hey, Dees, I want to ask you about Adames because from day one since he became a Giant, we've always heard about he's a great clubhouse guy. His vibe is strong. He's jovial. He's a team guy. Have you spent time in Arizona with him in spring, and now obviously you've been with the team since opening day? What have you seen? Have you witnessed any of the Adames vibe and how he actually is handling his struggles so far?
This dude is so cool. I tell you, when we came into the season, I thought that I told a lot of friends and other fans that I thought Adames will become the fan favorite, and he's up there now. I think I think he's competing with Jung-Hoo Lee on this one now for the fan favorite because Jung-Hoo's been so beloved, and I think it's going to arrive with Adames. I think. Look, I'm not the profession to be some kind of batting guru. I'm far, far from it. But I see this guy working out every day, and whether it's on the field or in the batting cage, and this guy cares. And he is a great clubhouse guy. And he is the guy who will dab you up and say what's up to you at 1 a.m. when you're in the lobby of the hotel checking in. Nice. So that's the kind of guy he is.
Nice.
That's huge. That's great insight. Yeah. And for real, I'm sure our audience appreciates that. Now, DC, I don't know if you can see this, but we have we don't take callers anymore, obviously, but we have our audience over here on what we call the comments line, and they're all kind of responding to what you're saying. So great insights right there. T, did you have another for DC? I don't want to get in your way.
No. I could go with DC forever since I've worked
whether it's Fonzie or Adames, we can go all day with DC.
Yeah. Are you still in touch with Scott Farrell?
You know what? I saw Farrell about 3 years ago in San Diego. I lost touch with him. We were passively in touch with each other, a text every other year or so. And then I get a call from him or a text from him. This may have been the 22 season. And he goes, hey, and I'm reading, and when I read his text, I always read it in his voice too as well. Hey, DC, your boy's going to be in San Diego. We're taking a summer vacation. I'm going to be there with my attorney. We want to come to the Giants game. Can you hook us up and come to the booth? So yeah, I said, yeah, sure. I haven't seen him forever, and it'd be great to see him. And when he came into the booth, it was like old times. It was he has maybe slowed down maybe 2 miles per hour off of 130. So it's it was Tim Farrell. He was telling me all about his kids and I'm standing there and I'm like, this is a time warp. I feel like I'm 30 years in the past right now. Yeah. Farrell hasn't changed and he's doing well. And it's great. I spent a lot of time with him. We spent a lot of years together in the early to mid 90s for all you old KMVR heads. And those, when we went to Westwood One, kept it on the station. We were nationwide, as he would say. And Tony, that's where I met you for the first time when he was there. And Paulie, that's when I met you around the same time when I came back at the ticket, 1050. And so, that's the last time I saw Farrell, and we'll stay in touch. And he's a pretty busy guy. He's got his own shows going on.
Sweet.
Yeah, no doubt. DC, just a couple more minutes, bro. I wanted to ask you about the starting pitcher tomorrow, Kyle Harrison. This is a kid who I think a lot of people back home here in the Bay are really pulling for, being a local kid, a De La Salle product. He had the rough spring, I know, where he lost all that weight and he got sick and everything, and he finally worked himself back up to the club. What's that kid like on the road? Because he is, to me, like my kids went to high school with him. You know what I mean? So it's like he really does. To me, he's still like a kid but I know he's in the bigs, and I think there's a lot of promise there. I've always said this, Darren, like Harrison's physicality reminds me of Matt Cain. It's the same kind of body type with that kind of thick lower half and stuff, a great base he's got there. But how does he, like personality wise, kind of mesh in with some of the other veterans on the club?
He wants to be a starter. I mean, it's very clear. That's any role with these guys between Birdsong and Harrison. Look, these two guys are young. Second of all, you're talking about De La Salle. Both these guys look like they could still be juniors in high school.
That's what I'm saying. I know, it's crazy.
It really is amazing. You're right. These guys are. When these guys were born, I was working with Vlad Guerrero down in Anaheim. So it's crazy to think, but in terms of their roles, they know it, and I think Harrison is taking these opportunities as they also build their pitch count up. Every game they pitch, they're getting about 15 more pitches per game as they increase their count, and they want to be careful here. They don't want to rush anything. So I think a guy like Harrison wants to stay in the rotation, and I think it was a tough pill for him to start at AAA out of spring training. So I think he's here to stay, and the team needs him right now as Verlander recovers from his injury, and I think Harrison could show that he belongs and stays in this rotation. If not, he's a great man out of the bullpen. Same thing with Birdsong, the way he kind of evolved from the starter, taking his role to the bullpen, and then back in the rotation.
You know, I would ask one final thing, DC, before I let you go, unless Tony has something else for you. And I wanted to ask about Logan Webb, who I think we all really love. We all point to him as kind of the face of the franchise in a lot of ways. Like, Darren, to me, Logan Webb, he just kind of epitomizes what it really means to be a San Francisco Giant. Like, I could easily see him fitting in on those World Series teams. I could easily see Logan Webb could have fit in like with the 70s teams with Jack Clark and McCovey. He's just one of those guys. He's like an old school, hard working starting pitcher. When he gets the rock, he wants to go give you a complete game if possible. Yep. And he's got great stuff. So, you know, when I used to go in the clubhouse during the World Series years, even though Buster was such a quiet guy, it was always kind of understood that that's the leader of the ball club right there. The guy who's not saying anything. It's Buster Posey. Do you get that vibe from Logan Webb? Like when you go through the clubhouse and you talk to the guys and stuff, even though Logan Webb is a similar kind of personality type, he's very quiet. He lets his play do the talking. But do you feel like he is kind of the de facto lead horse of that clubhouse at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the other day I saw what I think it was ESPN referred to Robbie Ray as the ace of the staff. And while I don't disagree with the tremendous season that Ray is having with the team right now, and his numbers dictate that, look, it's Webby is the ace of this team.
Agreed.
He's your number one. If the playoffs began tomorrow, he would be slotted for game one. And he leads that way too. And he commands that respect. And generally speaking, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, good team leader. He throws it. And yes, Paulie, you're right. Throwing deep into games. He's one of those guys that wants to give you 8, if not more.
Yep.
He doesn't. And look, you can run the numbers and say like, all right, well, the third time around, these are what batters are hitting against pitchers, and he's experienced enough as a veteran now. Amazing to think that he's the team veteran.
Yeah.
But he's the veteran who can take that and take that information and just adjust as he can. And he had a great game the other day too. He took the loss. It's tough, but it's kind of how that's part of the team aspect of it. So any chance that you want to put up a number one, Logan Webb's there.
Nice.
Logan Webb, and also one of our listeners / viewers, Scarlet Fire, says that Logan Webb sat in the dugout of Sacred Heart dugout in the Bruce Mahoney baseball game this year, which is between SI and SH. That's fantastic. That's the kind of guy Logan Webb is. But DC, I wanted to ask you, because you spend so much time around Krug and Kipe and Fleming and Miller, the greatest broadcast team that we are so fortunate to have. And I just wanted to, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we've talked offline many times about, the fun that you have with those guys. Yes, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of stuff you have to do that's like on the daily resume that you do, but like, are there is there a story that stands out as like one of your favorite stories of working with any one of those guys or the group of those guys that you could share with our viewers?
Well, Steve, your background on this, this is my 9th year with the Giants. I spent the previous 16th down in Anaheim with the Angels. I grew
Yep.
up in San Francisco as a Giants fan. I cried in '87 when we lost the NLCS to the Cardinals. I
Yep.
was there for Clark's hit up the middle against Mitch Williams in '89.
Nice.
I'm an old head, and if I went to, obviously, I joined the Angels in '01. I was there for '02. I saw that. In fact, side story, when we were in Anaheim last year, I was having lunch with a lot of my PR friends down there, and I go, the '02 team, still that World Series, still, even though the Giants won 3 in 2010, 2012, and 14, the '02 one still resonates with a lot of Giants fans and still hurts. And the
Oh
people
yeah.
with the Angels were very, very surprised to hear that because of the amount of success the Giants have had since then. Um,
Mhm.
back to your original question, which I've
Yeah.
completely forgot about now.
No. They're just working with those broadcasters, like, because we're so fortunate to have you go to other markets.
Here, I'm going to take. I knew when I took the Giants job, I knew Dave, I know Kruk, and I knew Kite, and I think John was the one person I didn't know as well as the others.
Right.
Side story again, back to the '02 World Series, and
Yeah,
I'll get
yeah.
back to tell you the story about the guys.
Bring it. Come on.
Game 7 of the World Series, Giants lose to the Angels, as everyone knows. I'm in the Angels radio booth, coordinating the clubhouse celebration with everybody, all the reporters and our announcers. And Dwayne Kuiper opens the back door, comes in, taps me on the shoulder. He knows I'm busy, offers his hand and says, "Congratulations."
See,
Nice.
I've
Yeah.
told Kuip that story many times, and I said I will never forget that the rest of my life because that's a true class act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I came on board, it was great. They treated me like I've been with them for forever, and I got to know John and work with John so long now, and I can't begin to tell you the level of professionalism that John
Yeah.
Miller brings to the broadcast.
Oh.
I've had the pleasure now with working with John Miller and Chick Hearn with the Lakers, 2 Hall of Famer legends in the business.
Yeah.
John is phenomenal. And the one thing that I will never forget between those 4 announcers, which is the golden era of Giants broadcasting, and believe me, the Giants have had a history of fantastic
Shout out Lon Simmons.
world-renowned announcers,
Yeah.
was the night that Vin Scully passed away.
Mm.
And I had John, Dave, Kruk, and Kuip. We were back at home at Oracle Park. And I forget, the game was irrelevant because what
Right.
the guys wanted to talk about was talk about Vin Scully, to reminisce, to talk about stories off the air. We played
Yeah.
some of Vin's greatest calls, whether they were with the Dodgers or NBC television when he was doing all his, this week and not this week, but the games of the week, as well as all the legendary playoff games in the '80s.
Yep.
That Vin did, and the catch obviously with Vin.
Yeah.
So and the golf that he did, but just to be in that room and for it to be so quiet and just to celebrate the life of Vin Scully, who was a friend to everybody in that booth, and to have those guys go around the table and talk. And this was an extra long post game show that we did to talk about Vin.
Yeah.
I will never forget that because Vin Scully is, and John Miller has said this many times, and he's the greatest baseball announcer of all time.
Yeah.
Vin Scully, and you would be hard pressed for anyone to argue against that.
Yeah.
And so that was something I will never forget.
Bravo, dude. Very cool, DC. Very cool. And by the way, I just want to let you know, Darren, that the audience, if you can't see the comments, man, you're getting a lot of praise. You're getting very favorable reviews here, as you should. But people are loving your presence. They're loving your stories. And I just want to say a couple of last things before we cut DC loose is that Darren is as hardcore of a 49er fan as Tony and myself. So, dude, when you're done with baseball this year, after the Giants win the World Series, right around late October, early November, when you cut that gig loose, dude, please do join us again. We'll go deep into Niner ball, and we'll talk about that. And, dude, just the fact that you just so casually threw this out there. Oh, yeah, you know, Vin Scully is working with Chick Hearn. Bro, that blows me away. Like, you worked with Chick Hearn. That's insane. And I wanted to ask you, because I don't think we've ever really talked about this off the air or at any time. Were you working with Chick right up until the time he retired?
Yeah, well,
Damn.
unfortunately, he passed away while I was in baseball mode. So
Oh, okay.
the Lakers radio was my off-season job for 16 years. I was there from '01 through
Yeah.
16. I was there during the complete Shaq Kobe,
And you were side
the
by side
drama.
with Chick Hearn. You were like
Oh
Chick's
yeah,
engineer. Damn, dude.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So Chick we would do the what we called for many years the simulcast. The
Yeah.
simulcast was Chick and Stu Lance doing television and radio. And
Yes.
Chick would do a side radio call-in show called Lakers Line
Nice.
before the game on radio only. And then
Nice.
we prepare for the sync of the television and radio call. And then we do a quick post-game show. Yeah,
Wow.
it was truly like an honor. I was like, I remember when I first started with Chick, and I was like, I cannot believe I am sitting right next to Chick Hearn and work. I
Legend.
never thought that would happen. Legend.
Yeah.
And he used to show up to the one of the great stories. And if you have 1 second, I'll tell you
I
a great
do.
story
Oh,
about
yeah,
Chick
keep
Hearn.
Come on.
Yeah.
We were setting up early at Staples Center. This may have been like 2001, 2002. And I'm setting up. We're getting there pretty early. And when I say early, for a 7:35 tip, getting there early like 1:32 is considered very early.
Yeah.
So Chick would get driven to the game with his wife, Marge Hearn. So Chick and Marge would walk in like a nice senior couple, and Chick would take his position right at the table, and he would start getting his folder out and start doing his lines of stats and filling in rosters and lineups. And he would do this some 5 hours before tip off. And he'd show up, in a very nice suit, hair done really nicely because he's doing television. And Marge would be sitting over to the side. She would just kind of sit off to the side and just kind of stare up there and just wait around. And I went over to Marge just to say hi one day. I said, "Hey, Marge, good to see you again. But why do you guys get here pretty early?" And she turned to me because she couldn't wait for someone to ask that question. She goes,
Nice.
"I don't know why he always wants to come here so early for him."
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It was like perfect. It was just like it was like the Ropers going at it.
Nice, dude. Shout out Stanley and Helen. I'm a big Stanley and Helen fan. In fact, I was watching Little Three's Company last night, DC, on the Independent Film Channel. I swear to God, they were doing Janet's home movies. They had the projector set up. I was watching late last night. Hey, DC, bro, love you so much. Thank you for the time today. It's just great to see you, friend to friend, and the three of us had a lot of history together, and that's going to continue. But success on the road trip, DC. Safe travels back home, and we'll see you back at the yard, dude. Thanks so much for the time, Darren.
Guys, I love coming on. I'll do it anytime. You guys have been my boys for decades now. I love what you guys are doing with the show. It's fantastic. Keep at it right now. And let me show you. Let me start to get up right now.
Yeah, look at
it.
Let's see. Come on.
Okay.
Give me some.
We're mobile here, okay?
Can't get over the sunglasses.
No, he looks like Pitbull. He's looking like a gangster. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bro. Now that's Miami. That's Miami, kids. DC, thank you for that Eagles eye. Look, that's killer, brother.
All right, guys, anytime.
Dude.
I'll talk
Thank
to you
you,
later.
DC. We'll talk soon.
Love you, D's.
Cheers,
Take
man.
care, brother.
Darren Chan, everybody. And you can see why we love this kid. Tony, phenomenal idea. Tony was like last night, hey, I want to get DC on the show. I go, bro, set that shit up ASAP. I want Darren it's right in front of me tomorrow morning. So well done, Tony. And thank you, Darren. Very, very positive reviews on the comments line, Tony. It looks like DC has won over the hearts of the PMP community.
Dude, he's so humble about his spot in like Bay Area media.
He's going to the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame someday. I mean, I'll tell you that right now.
No
I guarantee it. Yeah.
I was his intern on the Scott Farrell show in 95. Yeah, it was January of 95. And I didn't know what I was getting into. And it was a nighttime show, and I'm working this show, and I'm like laying out the jerseys for Farrell because the show was on TV at the time. And that's where I kind of fell in love with being behind the scenes of a show, was because of DC and watching him work. And he taught me so many things. And he was the one that kind of started with the beer crack sound effect and the different sound effects in segment, that kind of stuff, those live kind of sound effects. And by the way, back then, that sound effect was a 8-track cart that he had in a cart machine that he would play it and then reload it. Play it and reload it. Play it and reload it. It's not this digital stuff that we do now. It's not this,
touch
it's not
screen.
it's not the touch screen. Like not that. It's not. It's not that. It's the manual. And anyways, I just
Cart, dude. Shout out carts. We used to use carts. Yeah, lots of them. We used to have a stack of carts. Tony, creative freaking Tony, right here when he and I were doing a show together, and Darren was part of that show too. It was me, Tony, Rod Brooks, and Darren Chan. I'm not kidding you, just to give the audience an idea of how Tony used to produce back in the day, because I've been saying this forever. I maintain Tony was the best producer, the most talented producer to really ever go through KMBR. And you had a different set of skills than Darren had. Like Darren, to me, always could have and would have and maybe should have been a program director, because that's the kind of guy he is. Like, he's the kind of guy that you would follow. He's the kind of guy who just knows inherently like what's going to work, what's not going to work. But Tony used to walk in when we were doing the morning show. Tony would walk in every day with a stack of CDs. And Tony would play our bumper music, and I'd be like, all right, Tony, give me some Cheap Trick or whatever. And then you would give me that. And then you'd be like, all right, I'm coming in with some Pumpkins. And all of that stuff Tony would do by hand with CDs. And it was like really heavily involved, like theater of the mind radio we were doing back then. But it's great.
It was like a workout. I didn't sit down for the 4 hours because you're standing the whole time. And that's why I told the management I needed like the microphone to be higher and the things to be higher, because I never sat down, because they have the studio set up as if you're going to sit down for the whole time. I'm like, I am not standing. And remember, you stood up for a lot of the show too.
I used to stand. I know we were out of our minds back then, dude. We were all like in our 20s too. I mean, we had that kind of energy well back then. But anyway, thank you, Darren Chan. Freaking great to see him. Again, real quick, guys, looking ahead to tomorrow, because we're going to wrap up in a minute here. I want to remind everybody we will have the Metallica ticket giveaway tomorrow, our second pair. We've still got 3 more to go after that, but we'll do that again tomorrow. The music assignment has already been handed out, but if you're late joining us, we decided mutually through Tony's riffs earlier in the show that this will be songs about time, anything having to do with time or the clock on the wall ticking, anything like that, as we kind of wait patiently for Bryce Eldridge to arrive in the big leagues, which may not happen for a while, but that's what it's about. It's about time. You got to take your time. And Creative Tony, other than that, I'm ready to just go into the sponsors and wrap today, unless you have anything else you want to get to.
I do have something to get to, Paulie, because I would like to wish this person, if I can find it, where to go. Oh, did it go away? It might have gone. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So, Paulie, I would like to wish this person a very happy birthday, a happy 67th birthday to Ted Levine, also known as James Gum. There's a multitude of photos there that you can choose.
Oh, wait. Is she a big fat girl? Oh, dude, look at him. Look at the one of him in the robe, dude. Far left. Jesus Christ, he's unsettling. Very unsettling. Look at him, dude. Every picture you're showing me is giving me the creeps right now.
Oh, is that incredible, dude? I mean, look at
will you give me your hand with this couch? You know what I mean? He's got the girl helping him with the couch, dude, getting in the van. Like, dude, that whole sequence, it's horrible. There he is. Well, happy birthday, James Gum. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
You know,
there you go. And then I was gonna. It's Melissa Etheridge's birthday as well, and I was gonna play you the Chiefs tune just to get you all worked up. I really wanted to get you worked up. Actually, you know what, Paulie? I'm gonna get you worked up as we end the day. You know what? Let's do it. Why not?
All right.
Come on. Let me. Hold on. Where did this thing go? Hang on.
Beat LA. I'd me. I know. Looking in the mirror with his lipstick, dude, throwing his lipstick on. I know. Incredibly creepy. I'm with you, Beat LA.
By the way, I want to welcome Tony Vega to the show. I don't think I've seen his name before. I'd like to welcome Fozzy, Fasi, to the show. I see some comments on the comment line. Welcome to the show, and hopefully you're enjoying yourselves. Paulie, I'm going to give you this on the way out, just because I know that you're such a fan, and we want to honor and celebrate her birthday. So, are you ready?
Not really, but I got no choice. Yeah,
got no choice.
Oh God,
I know you're getting tired of Brittany and Patrick and Taylor and Travis and Donna and Kylie and State Farm. And what the hell is a bundle Rooski?
Dude, look at the fake laughter. The whole thing sucks.
You're gonna have to deal with it.
I've seen enough. Thank you, T. I appreciate the effort, but I cannot especially during the off season. I'd like to live a Chiefs-free lifestyle if I could. Where's your Chiefs hatred revving during the off season? Does it calm down, or is it still revving pretty high?
You know, I don't hate them as much as you do, and I think it's because I have experience with some local Chiefs fans here that are like really wonderful people.
Why are there even such a thing as local Chiefs fans? Like, why is that even?
No. To their fairness, in fairness to them, they moved here from Kansas City, so it's a backhanded compliment because we live in one of the greatest areas in the world. So they left their hometown and came out here. But they, I tell them I'm proud of them for sticking to their colors. And also Andy Reid, I'll never have a problem with Andy Reid. It's just for the Bundle Rooski, he took it too far.
Enough.
But it must have been a great payday for him to do the Bundle Rooski because that's so out of character for him. But the Mahomes, no. Kelsey, no, I don't need it. So I'm and dude, what's his name? That why am I blanking on his name? That rookie receiver who's coming back who decorated his own garage.
No, listen, I got to tell you right now, watching Patrick Mahomes get his ass kicked in the Super Bowl was one of the greatest experiences I had in the entire calendar year so far. And I hope to see more of that this year. Watching the Eagles pound him was such a beautiful thing because it was happening all goddamn day long, and the more the merrier. Everybody get a swing in it, the little Muppet out there. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to be a fan. That was a big turn off. Watching Melissa Etheridge doing her thing and the name of her track, how obnoxious can she be? Deal with it. How about you deal with it? Never acknowledging you again and never buying a record you're ever going to release. That's how I'm going to deal with it, Melissa. Okay.
I want to Xavier Worthy is who I was talking about. I couldn't remember his name at the time. Xavier Worthy.
I don't have time for any of these guys. Pacheco, all of them. The only thing I like about Pacheco is he's a Rutgers guy, but he's still a pain in the ass. They're all pains in the ass. I can't stand with the Chiefs under any circumstance, Tony. Oh, by the way, on a lighter note, I wanted to say thank you, John Joseph. We got the email with all those links, dude. Thank you so much. That was John Joseph, right, Tony? You sent that? With all the Grateful Dead and the Phil and the Bruce and everything. Dude, thank you, John. That was killer, man. And hopefully tomorrow is your big day because he's asking the question, did we get the email? Yes, we did. We got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. In fact, thanks to you, John Joseph, I can now access the shows I just saw at the Sphere with Dead & Company. I think your show is in there too, Tony.
Yep, totally.
So thank you, John. And I want to make sure John doesn't go on a violent rampage. And we got to give him another, Tony, another opportunity to win those Metallica tickets tomorrow. And don't forget, you know what? Throw Aaron Kask up there real quick, T. I appreciate the reminder. For real.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
dude. Rick Derringer checked out. I was sorry to see that. I saw that yesterday. I forgot to mention it, but you're right. I'm not going to forget Rick Derringer. And I got to say, rest in peace, Rick Derringer. I hate when the great musicians check out like that, but everyone's got to go. And his time came up. So yeah, rest in peace. And thank you, Aaron Kask. Any other supers we need to acknowledge, T, before
there was one that popped up earlier, Paul.
I saw something too. Yeah.
There was I think it was a Dom Peralta super. I'm just scrolling back real quick because we want to always honor these because everybody's so nice to do them in the first place. And man, the comment line is just, when you scroll back and look at some of these comments that go on through the show, it's just incredible. Yeah. So I'm looking for, oh man, come on. Because it's the different color that stands out. So while I'm scrolling, it's just, I mean, we're talking about Happy Days. We're talking Winkler. We're talking, I'm looking at the end. It's just fun going back in the comments. I'm looking for the supers. Oh, there it is. There's Dom. He says DC rules. No one can match a baseball game like DC. PMP Army welcomes you. Hell yeah, Dom. And he's right. DC does rule to the high heavens, and he's ruled since the day I met him and the day Paulie met him. And that's why he's not just like a great interview, but he's a dear, dear close friend of ours. And
he gets it, dude. He just gets it. Like, he gets the big picture. He gets like radio as entertainment. You know, he really does. Like, he gets that whole idea. And that's one of the reasons I always connected with him so well. Like, we both kind of grew up with the same kind of comedic reference points. Same with Tony. All three of us, we kind of bonded. He was, well, I don't want to say anything too incriminating, but I will say Darren Chan was a regular on Tony's couch after the Friday shows back in the day. I'll just kind of leave it right there. Me, you, Brooksy, Darren Chan. Done. I mean, that was the foursome. Hey, Sons of Johnny Lee, always great to see you, my friend. Affinity's Game Bus tickets are on sale. Awesome. You guys jump all over that and get out to Citi Field and make your presence known along with Sons. I mean, the Sons is one of the greatest worlds. Could you imagine having the frequent flyer miles that Sons of Johnny Lee has? He's probably flying on the arm because the guy's got so many miles built up. He probably don't even pay for his flights. Anyway, Sons, thank you and great to see you. Hope you get a great crowd at Affinity's. Creative Tony, we said thank you to John Joseph. That's a box checked right there. Metallica tickets check. Musical assignment, songs about time check. Now I want to give some love to our sponsors, and that starts with Dr. Matt Young. He is our newest and truest sponsor. He came on about a month ago, and I'm so proud and honored to have him on board. I consider him a good friend of mine. Creative Tony has known him for a while as well. And now,
Paul, I have a question. Would you ever walk into Dr. Young's office and say, do you have poisons? Open up and say, ah?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's something I was going to request, but he could probably accommodate that. He's probably got some Bret Michaels on standby. If that's what you need, to calm your nerves, he'll make it happen. And when I talk about that, I'm not kidding. Like, he really will accommodate your requests. If you're like, hey, you know what? I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm uptight about pain. Can you help me with some gas? Yes, he can definitely give you the gas. He can definitely give you the Novocaine, and he will give you the headphones, which is a big help to me because that gives you something else to kind of tune out on. Let Dr. Young do his work, and you're sitting there listening to Rolling Stones. It's not a bad little recipe. Matt Young at Young Dental. Email him at info@youngdentalsf.com if you'd like to schedule an appointment, or if you have any questions, or if you simply got an old school toothache, you're like, something's wrong in here, I need to get it looked at. Dr. Matt Young is your guy. You can also just simply pick up the phone and call him, 415-392-8611. And when you're there, talk all the Giants you want. He's totally one of us, man. He loves baseball, heavily involved with youth baseball. He was a little league coach for a long time here in the city with his son. Now his son's getting ready to play some high school ball over at SI, just like our very own Creative Tony. So that's a really cool thing. And so he's just an easy guy to talk to, and he's a very easy guy to relax your nerves. And that was my biggest obstacle going to the dentist. Because I got to be honest, Tony, I neglected for a long time. I'm just like, hey, if I don't go, nothing will be wrong. You know, they won't find anything. And then it finally got to the point where I needed to go, and he's been my guy ever since. And he can definitely do the same for you. Open weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. He also opens a door on Saturdays, Tony, for people like yourself with a very busy schedule. He can accommodate you.
Love the Saturday opening, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And also, Paulie, I might just, the next time I walk into Dr. Young's, I might ask him, can you play Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax? And then can you crossfade it into Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb? And then can I lay down in the chair and you just, get going on my mouth? And again, we talked about this earlier. When you trust somebody with going inside your mouth, that is something that you need to feel comfortable with. Dr. Young is that person. That's very simply stated, is that person. Paulie and I, that's why we are partnering with him, is because when you're talking about opening up your mouth and letting somebody inside to drill or to clean or to poke or whatever they do, you need to have comfort and trust with those people. So Frankie goes to Hollywood, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax, right into Comfortably Numb, right into Dr. Young. Go.
I just had a flash, Tony, when you said you're like sitting in the chair and you're telling Dr. Young, okay, go to work, man. When you said that, I had a flash of Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder as Les Grossman, the great Hollywood agent with the big forearms and the big hands and all that. It's Les Grossman. Who am I speaking with? And like at one point when they got Stiller kidnapped, they're holding them in the jungle. They're making them perform at gunpoint and shit like that. Tom Cruise gets on the phone with the guys holding them hostage. And he's like, who is this? This is Les Grossman. Who am I speaking with? And they're like, yeah, this is Flaming Dragon or whatever. Like, we got your guy. We're holding him hostage. And Cruz goes, hey, you know what? Go to town, my man. Go to town. That's Creative Tony in the dental chair in Matt Young's office. He's looking at Dr. Matt Young. Go to town, my man. Go to town. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Matt. Little comedy in there. I know he appreciates that too. So check him out.
Hang on. Before you get to Les, we just got to get Les up on the screen.
Please.
Look at this guy.
No, I mean, dude, look at the size of the hand, bro. The hand, the forearm. I'm going to go on record and say that might be my favorite Tom Cruise role of all time.
Paulie, I agree.
All time.
I totally agree, dude.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. Can you get me another shot of Grossman? I'll take more Grossman if you got it back there. Give me another shot of Grossman. You know?
I'll do, does that okay? That's so it does follow along with me. Okay, see, I was Google. No. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. They're all kind of the same. They're all well. There's him dancing, man. When he was dancing, it's just
dude, totally dancing. He's doing the slaps and everything, dude. It's amazing. Now, rumors on the street is that they might develop an entire movie focused on Les Grossman, where he's like the central leading character. And I hope that happens, dude. My fingers are freaking crossed. The more Les Grossman, the better. One last thing on Grossman, when he's negotiating, he goes, yeah, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah. Like the dude McConaughey in the back. See, Grossman's just dropping science, dude. Grossman doesn't have time. He's dropping science. So when the guys are holding Ben Stiller hostage and they're demanding like money, they're like, yeah, we want like $50 million. And he goes, oh, okay, Flaming Dragon, fuckface. How about this instead? And then he goes, how about I send you a hobo's blank cheese? I'll just leave that one out. How about if I send you a hobo's blank cheese? He just hangs up. Find out who that was, by the way. Yeah, Les Grossman, outstanding. All right. On to, I know, sorry, you got carried away.
Good call. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that got me.
To Carlos de la Fuente, another great friend of the program, Los D on the streets. I know he's under the weather today. Feel better, Los. Get some rest, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I slept pretty much the entire weekend. I was on my back fighting that thing, and I'm still trying to shake it off. It's rough. And I know Lee is fighting it right now, too. So all of y'all, get better out there. Carlos at Flex Funding, listen, he's one of us as well. And I'm so happy that the folks that are sponsoring the show, they just fit like a hand in a glove with us, man. He's a really cool guy, very easy guy to talk to. You don't have to feel intimidated, nervous, or scared or uptight when you reach out and talk to Carlos. He will calm your nerves just like Dr. Matt Young. He is a mortgage broker you can trust. He handles private money loans. He handles mortgages, reverse mortgages, fix and flip. He does the HELOC loans as a specialty. So if a home equity line of credit is something that or as Rag says succinctly, Los kicks ass, and he does kick ass. Another monster Bay Area sports fan too, dude. He is one of the impatient ones too. He doesn't have time for the Giants losing games. He doesn't have time for the 49ers not handling their business. He told me day one, he goes, listen, Paulie Mack, when it comes to the Niners, I'm about tough love.
Paulie, I saw a comment on Twitter that he's like, oh, so now I guess we're paying guys that are nice guys and not their athletic ability has no merit anymore. It's just he's a nice guy, so it's just we're supposed to like him because he's a nice guy. No, he wants production on the playing field or court happening now.
Yeah, and you as a customer or / client of Carlos, he will give you great service and he will give you great advice. And that advice might be the time is not right for you guys or your family or your business. And he will tell you that. And that has a lot of merit and value there on its own. So reach out to Carlos, have that preliminary conversation about your place in the world when it comes to your finances. 925-250-4894. Tony, you can also email Carlos at carlos@myflexnow.com.
Give us the los.
Tasty licks, man.
Give us the los. Give us the los. Give us the los. Give us the los.
By the way, what are you working on right there? A Les Paul? It's got that thick Les Paul sound. Sounded phenomenal. Maybe a little wah-wah pedal involved too. Outstanding. Yeah. So Carlos de la Fuente is your guy. Give him a call and see why we love him so much. You will too. All right, Creative Tony, that's going to do it for a Thursday broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Joe Schmo, John Joseph, Tom Peralta, Noemi, Ray Goodman. I saw you out there too. Rags, Leah Phillips, on and on and on. It goes. Fossey, my guy Fossey. How's that spelled, Tony? F-A-S-I?
F-A-S-I, Fozzie. I think that's how you pronounce it. It could be Fazzy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobby,
but I like
great
it.
to have
Yeah,
you
I
on
love
board
it.
today. Ray
Mhm.
Goodman, yes, I'm going to reach out to you probably this weekend, Ray. You're going to hear from me shortly, so thank you for that. And Tony, that's all I got today. Bring in Diamond David Lee Roth to dismiss the class, and we'll be back tomorrow for the final broadcast of the week, the High Noon Show. Always a good time. We'll do the musical assignment, songs about time. We will do the Metallica ticket giveaway, and we will set you up for the Giants in Miami. And we're going to review this Knicks-Pacer game. I say go Knicks. Me and Stevie B stand together on that one. Love you too, Rags. Thanks for tuning in. Tony, your final thoughts, and out we go.
No final thoughts at all. I have my Little League baseball game. I got to start prepping for that. I'm actually really excited. It'll be fun. You know, that our team's still playing well. So I hope that I don't bore you guys with my Little League stuff, but I feel like a lot of you guys have kids and a lot of you have coached, and it's just fun. It's like Dom said about Giants baseball, fun, right?
Yeah,
well, Little League baseball, fun.
Yeah, Little League coaching, fun. Yeah, that was a Chris Russo drop we used to play on the M&M show. Giants baseball, fun. Fun. We used to play it all the time. Yeah, Grateful Dead in the park for 3 days, fun. You know.
Yeah. You didn't play the Russo one lousy goddamn time.
Yeah.
One time.
Well, he's taking this weird stance now. Chris Russo, being this monster Giant fan in New York, he's kind of backed off the Giants. It's really weird. He's gone through like a weird thing with them. Maybe we can reach out to him and get him on the show at one point. I know he's really busy. He's like an A-list celeb though now, man. Chris Russo skyrocketing to the top of the ESPN power rankings with Stephen A every day on First Take. And he's great. He does a great job on the show. And I love Chris. We go back a long ways. Anyway, Tony, Diamond Dave for the masses, please. Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We ain't going nowhere without all of y'all. So thanks for the support. Thanks for being a part of the show on a daily basis. It really means a lot to Tony. It means a lot to me, too. So thank you, guys. We love all of y'all. We really do. And we're going to demonstrate that love tomorrow by giving you another chance to win Metallica tickets, no charge, free of hassle. They're all yours. They'll be at will call for the Sunday, June 22nd show. So another chance to win tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Tony, dig up some good stuff for the music assignment. Go Knicks. And we will see you tomorrow for our High Noon show. Sorry, T.
Guess what?
I want to tell everybody it's a public service announcement.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Everybody drink a lot of water. Everybody keep drinking a ton of water. There's a crud going around right now. Stay lubricated, stay hydrated, keep everything flowing through you. That's what I tell my kids. Drink a ton of water and try and fight all that stuff off because it's around.
Interesting.
It's around. And keep washing your hands too. Oh yeah, water. Water is the source of everything.
You heard Tony's instructions. He said, stay lubricated.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's the olive oil. That's the olive oil. Drink olive oil.
From Napa checking in on that one. She just wrote lubricated. ... I'm not sure where Tony's going with that. Where he's getting us into the inner workings of the creative Tony mind. But yeah, stay lubricated. Whatever you say, T. Anything else?
Dude, olive oil. That's the olive oil. My friend Mark Wiseman just checked in. Eat nuts because he knows I love to eat nuts. It's the good fats. Eat the good fats and drink a ton of water. And just stay healthy up there.
Let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight on the way out. Tony's final word today: eat nuts and stay okay, whatever you say, bro. Eat nuts and stay lubricated. I will. I'll do that as soon as we hang up the air. Yeah, Rags, did somebody say lubricated? Shout out to P. Diddy's freak offs. You know what I'm saying? Bring in the semi truck full of baby oil. We'll get to that tomorrow. All right, you guys have a great Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday night. Go Knicks. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the show. Peace, y'all.